Asking how do they activate the pineal gland? Well, astral projections. Very simple. Once they get your astral projection to activate your pineal gland, basically you become susceptible to whatever it is that you see in your mind's eye. Because you believe yourself before you believe anybody else. So possession initially, which is just an astral projection leading you, it's basically taking control of the remote aspect of your mind, because visualization, that pineal gland, that's basically outside information that you're tapping into. So the astral projection's job is simply to interfere with the truth that is resonating inside of you. Not necessarily always the truth that follows the narrative, but the truth that actually holds it all together. So it's like initially the whole perspective becomes understanding what God meant when he made males and females, weaker vessels, stronger vessels. The males are more pushed towards demonstrating the power that is held in their muscular frame, in their structure, in their masculinity, versus the feminine that's more basically nurturing, which is understanding, compassionate, but having these two perspectives clash within people is initially why they astral project, because when they disturb your coherence in heart and mind, then you yourself can't find yourself agreeing with yourself, let alone trying to communicate anything, at least not necessarily in full comprehension, because they might understand you say empathetically, emotionally, heart. They might see what you're trying to say, what you're experiencing, what you're expressing, what your impression gives them. And that's all unnarrated information versus then what you yourself are trying to draw in a construct with your own words, or being led into constructing. Because essentially, why else would anything that want to astral project other than to intervene the space between you and yourself, which is basically your words. Your words make it to your ears, and if they can get in the way of that, then you'll hear yourself mostly agitated, mostly bothered, mostly angry, mostly avoiding communication, because you don't want misunderstandings or uncomprehended perspectives to arise and leave people in the same state of bafflement they usually most encounter.